All right, man, welcome back. Or maybe this is your first time seeing me. I am Reed. I am 27, just an average dude who made a ton of mistakes in his 20s, and now I want to share everything I learned. We're going to talk about things I picked up building wealth in my 20s. These are in no particular order. They all just kind of scattered like my brain, but I promise you every single one of these comes from real experience. Not some theory I read in a book. I am by no means rich enough to retire. I am not extremely wealthy. I am 27. I've got a liquid net worth sitting right around 1.3 million, little over that, depending on the market that day. And before anyone jumps on me saying, oh, look at this guy flexing. Number, I am not here to brag. I am here to tell you that if I can do this, anybody can. I grew up with no trust fund, no rich parents, no business connections. I was the kid hiding his report card because I was too embarrassed to show my parents another string of D grades. So let me share what actually moved the needle for me. Number one, and this is going to sound weird, the dumber you are, the more money you make. I genuinely believe this. I mean, in a very specific way. I am not saying you need to be unintelligent, but the more book smart you are, the more self-aware you get, and that self-awareness kills your ability to take risks. I saw this with so many guys I went to school with. They went to the best universities, they paid for the best programs, they graduated with honors, and now they re-sitting in a cubicle doing the average 9 to 5, wondering where it all went wrong. They re-too in their own heads, they overthink everything, they want the perfect plan before they take the first step. Meanwhile, the guys who are a little reckless, a little less self-aware, a little more willing to look stupid. Those are the guys who actually went and did something. There's this paradox in life where if you are too spiritual, too philosophical, too analytical, you almost convince yourself that not trying is noble. You tell yourself you are above the grind, you are better than the hustle. But in reality, you are just scared. You are scared of failing in front of people. You are scared of looking dumb, so you don't even start. And that, my friend, is the real failure. I struggled with this so bad in high school. I was the straight D student, the kid who would get the test back and shove it in his backpack before anyone could see. Everyone else was getting B's and A's, and I just felt so embarrassed, but here is what nobody told me back then. The real world doesn't care about your marks. Nobody looks at your GPA when you are out here trying to build something. Nobody cares that you aced calculus, if you can. Figure out how to generate cash flow, and I really want you to hear this because I think a lot of you need to let go of that ego. You need to stop thinking that being smart is going to save you. It is not action saves you, implementation saves you. Just doing the damn thing is what changes your life. So stop waiting for the perfect plan and go be a little stupid. Take the risk. Look dumb, I promise you it works out in the end. Number two, and this might be the most practical thing I say all video, the gap between your income and your expenses. That is your net worth building machine. Unless you are in your 40s or 50s or you exit a company really young, the cash flow is what is going to build your wealth. That is it. That is the whole secret. The only reason I'm worth 1.3 million at 27 is because I focused on my income first. Let me show you what I mean. I check my investment account sometimes and I am up maybe 150 to 175,000 total from actual investment gains over the years. That is it. Everything else, the other 1.1 million plus, that is all cash flow. That is my businesses generating active income that I have full control over. And I am not saying you have to start a business to make good money. You can get into high ticket sales. You can join an early stage startup. You can take a commission-based role. There are so many ways to make real money without being a full entrepreneur. But what I am saying is that you cannot rely on investments alone in your 20s. You don't have enough capital yet. The market could return 10% a year, but if you only have 10 grand invested, that is $1,000, who cares? You need income. You need to make 20, 30, 50 grand a month coming in. And people challenge me on this all the time. They say, oh, but investing early is important. And yes, it is. But it is not the priority right now. The priority is your cash flow. You need to build a machine that pumps money into your bank account every single month. That is how you go from 0 to 1.3 million. Not by picking the right stocks. Not by timing the crypto market, by earning more than you spend and stacking the difference. That is all wealth is at the end of the day. Income minus expenses equals net worth growth. It is simple math, but everyone wants to complicate it because simple is boring. Simple doesn't sell courses, simple doesn't get clicks, but simple works. Number three, and I need you to really sit with this one. Most men, especially in their 20s, should not want to get rich quick. I know that sounds backwards. I know we all want the Lamborghini and the mansion overnight, but here's the reality. The guys who hit it big fast, they blow it every single time. I have seen this happen with so many people I know. They make 100 grand in 1 month from some random crypto trade or some short-term business flip. They post the screenshot on Instagram. They buy a bunch of dumb stuff to flex. They think they V-made it. And then 3 years later, they re-broke. They have nothing to show for it. They re-back at square one, but now they even more miserable because they tasted the high and lost it. You want to know what actually builds long-term wealth. Making a good amount of money for a long period of time, consistency beats intensity every single day. I have never made 6 figures in a single month. I hope to get there soon. I am working towards it, but I've never claimed to. What I have done is make at least 20 grand a month in profit every single month since March of 2022. Not a single month below that for years. That consistency, that reliability, that is what builds real wealth. That is what teaches you financial discipline. When you make a lot of money slowly, you learn how to manage it. You learn how to budget. You learn how to invest. You learn how to not spend it all on stupid stuff, but when you get a windfall, when you hit that jackpot, you don't T-learn anything. You just get a rush of dopamine, and then you chase that rush again and again until you crash. I could have handled making 100 grand a month in my early 20s. Honestly, if someone told me back then, hey man, we gonna slap 100 grand in your bank account every month for the next year, I would have blown every single penny. I would have bought cars I didn't need. I would have rented apartments I couldn't afford. I would have partied like there was no tomorrow because I didn't have the discipline yet. I hadn't gone through the slow grind of learning how to manage money, and that is why I am grateful that I built my wealth slowly. It forced me to grow up. It forced me to develop skills that I'll have for the rest of my life. So stop chasing the quick hit. Stop hoping for that one stock to pop 1,000%. It is cool when it happens. I get a little FOMO too when I see people making crazy gains, but I also know that my S&P 500 gains have been absolutely insane just by doing nothing. I haven't T-pressed a single button. I haven't T-timed the market. I just held and let time do its thing. That is the real secret: time and consistency, not speed and luck. Number 4, and this is your new North Star. You need to be obsessed with your first 10K a month. That is your only goal right now. I don't care if you are making 0 today or you are making 2 grand a month. Your entire focus should be on hitting $10,000 a month in profit, not 50K, not 100K, not $1 million net worth, not a $5 million business exit, 10K a month. That is it. Stop chasing the big number and focus on the small one that actually matters. 10K a month is 120 grand a year. That is nothing in the grand scheme of things. That is pennies in any currency. But it changes everything. When you hit 10K a month, you are out of survival mode. You are not stressing about rent. You are not stressing about groceries. You can breathe. You can start investing real money, you can start thinking about the future, and more importantly, that momentum. That dopamine rush of hitting your first real milestone that carries you forward. When I hit 10K a month, I thought, okay, maybe I can hit 15. Then I hit 15 and thought maybe I can hit 17.5, then 20, then 25. It snowballs, but you have to start with that first milestone. If you're chasing 100K a month and you haven't even hit 10 yet, you are just setting yourself up for disappointment. I see this all the time with day traders and guys trying to start businesses. They want the huge win immediately. They want the $50,000 month, but they can't even make $500 consistently. It is ridiculous. It is stupid. When you really think about it, just focus on 10K a month. Write it down, make it your phone wallpaper. Comment it on this video, I don't care, but stare at it every single day and figure out how to get there. There is a million ways to make 10 grand a month: high ticket sales, e-commerce, reselling stuff, freelancing, starting a service business. Pick one and go. Stop overcomplicating it. Number 5, and this one hurts. You are going to fail 10 times more than you will succeed, so you might as well keep trying. I know that sounds discouraging, but it is actually the most freeing realization you can have. When I was younger, I tried everything: forex trading, binary options, Twitch streaming, real estate wholesaling, private equity deal sourcing, before anyone even knew what that was. I was doing all of this in high school around 2015, 2016, 2017. Every single one of those things failed. I didn't make a single penny, but I learned something from each one. I learned a little bit about sales, a little bit about marketing, a little bit about systems, a little about what not to do. And when I finally started my agency business, I took all those little lessons and mashed them together, and it worked. It worked beautifully. Nobody talks about my failures anymore. Nobody makes fun of me for the stupid stuff I tried in high school. They just look at what I built now and say, damn, he actually did it. And that is the whole point. All it takes is one good hit, one business that takes off, one hustle that actually works, and everything else becomes irrelevant. So stop worrying about looking stupid. Stop worrying about failing. You have nothing but time anyway. You are in your 20s. You can afford to fail. Actually, you can't afford not to fail, because failure is the only thing that teaches you. And if you are spending a ton of money on your side hustles or your business, you are probably doing it wrong. Pick a white belt level business, something that costs almost nothing to start. That is why I love the agency model. It takes time and effort, but it takes very little capital. You can start with just a laptop and a phone. That is it. So go fail a bunch of times, collect the lessons, and keep going until one thing sticks. Number 6, and this is the shortcut nobody wants to admit: just copy what is already working. I've done over $2 million in sales with my agency just by copying what my old boss did. I took what I learned at my day job, I started freelancing the exact same service, and then I built a business around doing exactly what he was doing. I didn't innovate, I didn't reinvent the wheel. I just copied something that was already working and added my own story to it. That is all you have to do. Find someone who is already successful in the space you want to enter. Study what they do and do the same thing. Not verbatim, don't plagiarize. That is stupid. That LL gets you in trouble. But model their approach, model their offer, model their pricing, and then put your own spin on it, your own personality, your own story, your own unique value. That is how you win. You don't need to be a genius innovator. You just need to be a good copier who adds a little flavor. And this applies to everything: YouTube content, coaching programs, products, services, whatever you want to do. Find what is already working in the marketplace and do that. It is that simple. If you are struggling with what to sell, look at your own expenses. Look at what you buy every day. Look at what businesses buy every day. Find a gap in the market, make it better, faster, cheaper, and resell it. There's a million ways to do this. You don't have to make it complicated. Number 7, and I might get some hate for this. Reject hustle culture. The goal is maximum output for minimum input, and that eventually requires delegation. I am inherently lazy. I've always been this way. In high school, I was always looking for the cheat codes, the hacks, the shortcuts. I didn't want to do my homework, so I found ways around it, and it worked beautifully for me. You need to do the same thing with your life. You do not need to work 80 hours a week forever. In the beginning, you will go through seasons where you work hard. That is real. I am not going to lie to you. The first year or two of building something requires serious effort, but keyword there is seasons. You are not supposed to work like a dog your whole life. That defeats the whole purpose of building wealth in the first place. The goal is freedom. The goal is to enjoy your life. So learn to delegate, learn to build systems, learn to hire people. That is how all the billionaires got to where they are. They've got code working in the background, they've got content teams, they've got employees running operations. If it wasn't for my team, I wouldn't be able to record this video right now. I wouldn't be able to go return my scratched copy of Grand Theft Auto 4 in the middle of the afternoon like I am about to do. Delegation is the key to freedom, so stop romanticizing the grind, start romanticizing the efficiency. Number 8, and this is a myth that needs to die. You do not need money to make money. Yes, eventually you need capital to scale, but in the beginning you don't need a ton of money to start. You don't need money to start a real estate project. You can syndicate it. You don't need money to buy a business. You can raise funding, you can find a lender. There are so many strategies that require zero upfront capital. If you are sitting there telling yourself that you can start because you don't have money, you are coping, you are making excuses, and I say that with love, just do the damn work. It does take money. It takes effort, it takes time. That is the real currency when you are in your 20s. You have time, you have energy, use it, start a white belt business, something that doesn't require a ton of startup capital. You'll be fine, I promise. Number 9, and this is the one that kills most people before they even begin. Speed of implementation beats perfection every single time. If you have an idea for a channel or a business, just start, go into Claude or whatever tool you use, paste your niche, ask for some video ideas, boom, you've got a content plan, then go record. The first video is going to suck. My early videos have terrible mic quality, my speech is awkward, nothing was perfect, but I started. And that is the only reason I am here today. Perfection is procrastination in disguise. It is your brain tricking you into staying comfortable. Don't fall for it, just start. You can improve along the way, but you cannot improve something that doesn't exist. Number 10, and this is the one I want to leave you with. The world is a hard place and you need to get used to it. Nobody's handing you anything unless you've got rich parents. And if you do, that is great. I hope I can give my kids that one day, but for most of us, it is not reality. Getting rich is hard, but being poor is harder. So you might as well try. It is the more logical option. Put in the work, push as hard as you can. It is simple in theory, but it is going to require real effort. It is going to require a lot of different ideas and a lot of failed attempts.